Hello, and welcome to the Setting Up a Classroom tutorial. Once you have created an account in Equip, you can begin by setting up your classroom. To get started, click Create New Classroom in the top right-hand corner. Type your classroom name. You can always rename the classroom by clicking Rename. So I could call this Tutorial Classroom. Then you want to click on the drop-down menu and you'll see 3 steps. Step 1 is demographics. Demographics are social markers like race and gender. So to get started, you can click on Edit and either enter your demographics manually or click Load Defaults to display race and gender with different options. You can customize these as appropriate, separating each option with the comma. You can also add on to these defaults as well. For example, I may want to look at sexual orientation, for which I could have options queer and straight. Other examples that you could include could be first-generation college student, yes or no, major, student status, or any other social marker that applies to your class of students. If you have some missing demographic data, you may add the option of not applicable to any of the social markers for which you have missing data. For this video, I will choose to look at race, gender, and student status. So I will remove sexual orientation and add student status with options undergraduate and graduate. Note that you may edit your demographics at any point before your first observation, but not after. So after clicking Save, we can go on to fill out the discourse dimensions. These are aspects of classroom talk that you would like to track, such as the type of questions teachers ask or the length of student contributions. As before, we can click on Load Defaults to display a basic set of discourse dimensions commonly used by many Equip users. Descriptions for each of these dimensions can be found in the Equip codebook in the user's guide. Referring back to the codebook might help you decide which dimensions you would like to keep or customize for your classroom. Other discourse dimensions might be language spoken or teacher response. For this video, I will choose to look at teacher solicitation, solicitation method, length of talk, student talk, and teacher response. So I will remove wait time and add teacher response as a discourse dimension. And the options I will have will be revoice, elevate, evaluate, and not applicable. Additionally, since I will be live coding, I will customize the options for length of talk to a few words, 1 sentence, and 2 or more sentences. And again, you may edit your discourse dimensions at any point before your first observation, but not after. Lastly, you'll need to enter your student roster with their demographic information. Collecting this information about your students could involve giving a survey to your students, using data from your school, or making your best guesses as to their demographics. The sooner you collect and consolidate this information, the sooner you can start coding. So keep in mind that you or your coders cannot start using Equip without demographic data. So I will click on Advanced Student Entry page, and you'll see that the headers here match the demographics that we filled out in step 1. You can add new students either manually or by copying and pasting from an Excel sheet. Organizing the data like this will make it easier for me to input into Equip. If you do this, make sure you also copy the headers and that the Excel headers match the headers exactly in Equip. So I will copy and paste. And now I get a message saying that there were errors found in pasted data. Please review your input for any highlighted issues. So these errors are indicated by red boxes. And in order to save all your students, you want to make sure that all the boxes are green, meaning that your demographic data matches the options that you listed in step 1. So here in this box, we see There's an extra space there. Over here, there's an extra apostrophe. Also over here, I see the box is green, but there's an apostrophe there, so I want to get rid of that. And then I see that in gender, the entire column is red. So this indicates to me that there's some mismatch in the demographics. So I'm going to go and check, click on dashboard, check my demographics, and here I see that indeed the options for gender are girl, boy, non-binary, and since I'm doing a college class, I'm going to want to change these to man and woman, and then we'll see if that fixes the error. And now we see that all the boxes are green, which is what we want. And these extra lines are okay because when I save classroom students, they go away automatically. So if I go back to simple student editing, you'll see some options here at the top to align students or order students A through Z. It might be helpful if you create a visual layout or a seating chart which connects names of students to their faces. This can be done in the Equip app by clicking and dragging the student names to their corresponding seats in your class. So for this video, I will choose to align the students alphabetically, and then make sure to click Save to save your seating chart. Save locations. After reviewing your student roster, you may see some things you wish to edit in your demographics or in your discourse dimensions. For example, I may want to choose some different demographic data for Jill, and then you just save student and close. However, demographics and discourse dimensions cannot be edited after your first observation. And just know that if you ever need additional help, you can always consult the help page. Once you are done editing, you are ready to create a new observation.